Because this case is sparking new bipartisan calls for police reform. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool. And we all talk about this reform every time, Brian. You know, I have said many times, I think that reform is code for defund the police, take the money away from them, do something to get them the money out of their hands. Do you think national reform, local reform, what's your take on this?
Trace, I've worked on excessive force cases involving law enforcement for over 12 years. I've been on cases involving shooting deaths, taser deaths, and I will tell you that this is not a reform type of case or a training type of case. Why do I say that? Training issues when 2 or 3 cops show up and one of them shoots because they don't say, put your hands up or I'll shoot. That's an example of a training issue. This involved all the officers who had this mob mentality. They all exhibited rage the minute that they pulled over Tyre. That is a systemic departmental issue within a police department. It's a culture that has been permeating and allowed to exist because of upper management. When I see you post here, oh, the 6th and 7th cops have been charged. What about the leadership? This is a leadership issue, allowing that mentality to permeate.
So what are you saying? Are you saying it's a mental health issue? You're saying it needs something else? Because if you're looking at national reform, we have something. We have a national police force called the FBI, and it really hasn't, for the past few years, done what we thought it was going to do.
Yeah, you need 2 things. You need a change in upper management that doesn't allow this to happen. You know, in L.A. County years back, there was an allegation of a gang within the L.A. County Sheriff's Office called the Banditos. If you're looking at something, you could see this happening within your department. We need to better filter police officers. We need to do background checks better, mental health before you're hired and while you're hired. I mean, Trace, this case should be a first-degree murder case. Let me tell you quickly why.
That would be intent, and that's the whole thing.
No. Let me tell you why it's intent. Let me tell you let me tell you where you get to intent, right? Once they chase Tyre down and they have pummeled him, punched him, hit him, and let's effing baton this guy, and they do that, and they hold him back, and then he falls on the ground, and he's sitting there like a rag doll, and he falls to the side. Nobody checks his pulse. They let him sit there 10 minutes. That, to me, forms intent to kill, and unless we want to make some change around the nation, let's charge with first-degree murder.
Who, according to their employers, didn't do the right thing. What does that say about humanity just in general, the human beings involved?
Not all gang mentality, though, Brian. Some didn't do the right thing. I don't think there was a mentality, but talking to them, that they were out to kill this guy. And you have to prove they were out to kill this guy to prove intent.
I disagree with that. When this guy, that could have been you or me getting out of that car.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about wanting to harm somebody and you let them sit there to die, that, to me, forms the intent to kill.
Brian Claypool. Yeah, Jeff Paul, thank you both.